The sun has probably put some shades on. Thanks to my Irish reflective legs. Actually, not that bad, I'm just joking.
Oh, I keep forgetting the differences in climate. I was about to say, who the heck wears Cranky Pants? But it doesn't get that cold here. Regular long cargoes does fine for me.
I was never big on track pants, but now that I've lost the will to live, I don't care.
Yeah, I'll be Crocs and socks next.
I just got $4,000 in harvest income. Why?
Did you unload the trailer for the sugar beets yourself, maybe?
No. Well, I was in DJ's farm anyway. So
see,
DJ would have
that's
got
why.
it. No, I was in DJ's farm when I do it. I'm on my farm now. All I'm doing is ploughing and cultivating. I've done nothing to do with harvesting or anything. And I just got...
One of DJ's trailers just delivered sugar beets.
Yeah, but I shouldn't get it because I'm not in his farm now.
That's true.
When I delivered it myself, I was in his farm. I wasn't in my farm, and it was part of the contract.
Yes, I get that, but that's the only thing that just delivered anything.
So why would I get the money for it?
No idea.
I definitely am in my farm, aren't I? Surely. Oh, I wouldn't be in my tractor if I wasn't in my farm, that's for sure. But yeah.
Did the money show up in your accounts as well, or did it just show on your screen?
Harvest income. Apparently I've made $9,000 in harvest income.
That's weird then.
Now, I made none yesterday, so I'm guessing some of that was the sugar beet that I did on my contract when we did this on Sunday.
No idea, bud.
But it wouldn't have been $9,000 worth. I wouldn't have thought. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was only $2,000.
My only theory would have been, what do you call it? Because yeah, you're saying some of the sell points store, so let's just finally processed it through.
Maybe.
And I suppose that would have paid you immediately to...
Oh, didn't you do cotton?
I did do cotton.
And maybe... Did you leave the cotton bales at the spinnery, maybe?
No.
Did it took a while or something like that?
No, they didn't go to the spinnery.
Then I'm all out of ideas.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, I got $4,000. That's fine by me, but why? So, I don't know why. I mean, if I can't figure out why, I can't give it back to wherever it came from.
Government subsidy signpost.
Well, I don't have a farm to put that down on, and we don't have it installed anyway.
Yeah, you could put down placeables any way you want, though. You don't need to. You do not need to own the land.
There we go.
Really? I thought you did.
Nope. At least in single player, you do not. You don't.
Well, if you got the place anywhere mod, yeah. But
yeah.
you'll probably find that in game no.
Vanilla, yeah, I was going to say.
I love the inspector mod. Look at me keeping an eye on my other worker, making sure he's doing his job. The GPS reading straight to my phone from the tractor. Used to get a lot of YouTube ads for a company that did that. So then, why are you telling me about this? I don't own a company. I don't own a vehicle. Why are you giving me this information?
Because you might be a jilted stalker.
That's harsh, man.
I didn't say he was, I said he might be. You might be concerned for your young one's well-being, so you bug the car to keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not trying to do anything reckless down the highway.
Well,
One reason is to track something.
yeah, well, we used to have it at my old job, and I know a young guy got fired because he took the ute home, and which we're allowed to do sometimes, but you weren't allowed to use it for anything else. And he went joyriding in it, and the GPS picked up the wheel spin up in the side road action. So he came to work the next day. So did the boss, and fired him.
Yeah, no company car unless you expressly permitted. Maybe for the way home and back to work.
Mind you, I used it once to help people move. Not that I wanted to, I was just being nice. And I got conned. It was supposed to be a quick job, and then all of a sudden it was a lot more. So I was expecting to have the same thing happen to me when I got back into work. Just fortunately for me, whether or not they noticed it, well, they didn't check it, or I was actually that value of a employee that they didn't care.
Oh no, it's because your local KFC was out of a 3-piece feed, so you just had to go the other side of town to get it. Honest.
Oh, I didn't have to go out of town. It was just across from one suburb to another, pick up some stuff. It was supposed to be one quick trip, and it turned out to be 3 trips. I'll tell you why I wasn't happy about it. Not that it matters anymore. Doing something nice for someone wasn't worth doing it for in the end. What as in what are you saying what to? Go on. Stream lag it all. Oh, you thought Smedo summoned you. Did you, Smedo? Did you stand in front of the mirror and yell Bowen 3 times?
Oh. No, I scream Bowen juice, Bowen juice, Bowen juice. And then I flushed.
No. Oh, you might not ever want to say that again.
Why? Where did your dirty mind go?
$467 in wage payments for my worker who's still working, apparently. Well, I assume he's still working. All I know, he could be driving down the road.
In his 6'4"?
He doesn't know what he's doing. He goes up to 13 kilometres and stops and drops back down. No, he's going all over the place. It's like watching a Geiger meter.
Amazon package delivery.
All right,
He's
Bo.
cruising down the road in his 6'4".
Thanks for popping in, Bo, mate. You have a good sleep, mate. Get better. And hopefully we'll see you at some stage. Hopefully at one stage you'll be able to come and join us and keep us company and provide some actual real entertainment on these streams.
Yell at us from the bleachers.
Yeah. It's a surprise I don't have a really sore neck at the end of this. The way I turn it around like this.
You know you're not supposed to turn it more than 2 rotations in the same direction, right? You're gonna unscrew your head. Or did you not know that?
I don't know that. That's how I always got out of the railings.
Oh.
I'm not going to read that one out loud. They can read it for themselves. And I'll do you a favour, Brian, if they start saying anything about it, I'll mute them without telling them. So that, as far as you know, you're right and they're not complaining about it. They agree with you.
Oh, we're not gonna start about what the Irish are known for, right? Or not known for.
The ability to tan.
The ability to stay sober more than one day.
Sure they can. Sometimes they get stuck. Might be hitting a bit too by the belt.
Well, working proof that that's an incorrect statement.
You have Irish ancestors, dude. You're not Irish.
Doesn't matter where you're born, you're Irish.
Nope. You are Irish if your parents are born in Ireland or your grandparents. And you might be able to call yourself Irish. Other than that, you have Irish ancestors.
Oh, right. So if it was English, it's a totally different thing because my grandmother, I would have an English passport. My great-grandparents had come from England. Should be classed as part of English.
Well, that's one grade too many, though.
And it wasn't that long ago, so I would have been all brought up in Irish culture and stuff, and still had it in my DNA.
Yeah, you might have it in your DNA, but you're still not Irish. I hate it when the Americans do that too. I'm Irish, I'm German. No, you're not. You have ancestors from those places. That's it.
It's true, Power. Actually, technically, there's one guy that apparently we're all related. We're pretty much all related because of him. I can't remember who it was. It's not Attila the Hun, it's someone else.
Actually, Bowen, my ancestors come from further east, and the Romans never went that far. By your logic, I'm Slavic. I'm Russian. Not Italian.
Oh, there you go.
No wonder he's doing so good at this challenge. He's a Russian German. Instead of a regular pace German.
Which means you can logically think outside the box. Which explains a lot.
Well, my grandma was born in what is today Poland. On my... both, actually. Both of them were born in what is today Poland. The Romans never went past the Elbe. Still there.
Trudging through the middle of Europe in a Legionnaires outfit.
I don't know what, I mean, my father's side, they all came from Ireland, but their name originated somewhere in England.
Well, the Irish were the first colony, so...
And my father's mother's side and my mother's father's side, they all come from what was known as Yugoslavia.
Okay.
But the name originates from Spain.
How did that happen?
And there's a lot of that name in Italy. And which is really, really weird because the first original people that apparently came from, settled in Ireland came from Spain. So maybe I'm just completely Spanish. I don't know, probably because they moved to Italy, because I know, I can't remember which side of the family, but one of them lived on an island that's close to Italy. So they probably ended up moving to Italy from Spain, then onto the island from there. Where the other name is completely Dalmatian, as I would say.
What's the name of that island? And not Corsica, the other one.
It's a tiny island. I don't know what the name is.
Those used to belong to Aragon, which is Aragon and Catalonia became Spain at some point. So,
and I also know I've got Viking in me.
that actually makes sense, because the Normans or the Norse, well, the Normans technically from Normandy, so they had Viking ancestors and they conquered Sicily and southern Italy. So
Yeah, but I think it's because they're conquering England and all that. Because I've got, I don't think it was wherever it came from. I don't think the person had a choice the way the Vikings were back then. So, but I've got a liver disorder that originates from Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, it's all to do with a certain chromosomes. There's 4 levels of this. It's known as hemochromatosis, which I think I've mentioned before. And there's 4 levels of it, and all about your gene sequence or something like that. 2 numbers that match depending which one you've got. And I've got the second worst one, which means it won't kill me, but does do give me a bit of strife. But you get one of the gene numbers or whatever it is from your father's side and one from your mother's side. So I ended up having that from both sides. So you're quite possibly right on that. It could be one set from Ireland. I got a little bit of Viking from Ireland from when they were there, and a little bit from over the other way. Possibly. I'm the only one in the family that has it.
Lucky you.
No, my brother and sister are carriers, because you get the gene anyway. You'll get one or the other. I just ended up getting both, which means I actually have it and I'm not a carrier.
Whereas I'm just entirely clueless about my entire hereditary. As far as I know, my grandparents on both sides were born and raised in Australia, and above to my great-grandparents, I don't have an idea. No idea where they're from, where they live.
Ireland. It's my guess.
Yeah, my mom tried a few years back to build the family tree. She got like 3-4 generations back, and most of my ancestors came from Bohemia, Thuringia, what is today Middle Germany. Bohemia is Czechoslovakia, that area, and then they moved to Schlesien. I do not know the English, but it's Poland today, basically. Southern Poland.
Yeah, my dad's half-sister did the same thing, a family tree. We know I've got the relative in Poland who's, well, used to be a minister. That was ages ago. We've got a few relatives in America. There's obviously...
Minister as in priest, or minister as in politician?
Politician.
Ah.
But everyone on my grandfather, great-grandfather, all that were Protestant priests.
Uh-huh.
And we know it came through Australia first, from Ireland to Australia, and moved to Melbourne, and then moved to New Zealand. And the reason why I reckon yours are from Ireland, Patrio, is because most of the people that moved to Australia, or a lot of people from New Zealand, live in New Zealand originally, came through Australia from north of England, Scotland, and a lot from Ireland as well. And I'm just going by your name. Not Patrio name, obviously your real first name.
And for a split second, they're going, hang on, I don't well, I mean, it gets around, but I obviously don't use my real name online. Which is funny, because it's short for a Hebrew, which is just pulled out of an old birth book. The rest of my family has regular Christian names. Not a religious family, but it's just kind of funny that everyone else has got, you know, your standard English names, and then here's me with a weird one that nobody uses.
Well, I don't really know your real name. I just took it from something you said, an abbreviated version. Oh, apparently I needed to go around again. The traffic decided that I hadn't lined up my tractor properly and thought I needed to go around again and reapproach.
Sure you weren't just doing some training for the tractor? Okay, sit boy, roll over.
Oh no, apparently I also needed to, you know, approach it from a different angle. See it from another light. No one knows your real name, Dave. Yeah, that's true. We'll get it one day.
It's actually Delta Charlie, Dave. That's his full name.
His initials is DNH. His full name is Dave's Not Here.
Huh. See, because when you said DNH, I immediately thought of DNF. I was like, oh, so did not what?
Do not find out.
Ah, so he's Rumpelstiltskin.
The devil has told you.
Do not hire.
Do not harass. Still, can't be as tragic as Megatron Griffin.
Yeah, my other guy, he's still going. It was a big fear, but he's got a way bigger size cultivar. There he is. Oh, he's getting there. How much have you done, son? How much have you done? 93%. How much have I done? 79%. Wow. Well, all I can say to that is hurry up. I've also done 45% transporting on field 69.
No.
I'm doing well today.
Why is it that you get shown that message and I don't? That's annoying.
Well, maybe if we get a dedicated server and have an admin password and you become an admin, we all get that message. But it is annoying, and it's something that they need to sort out. It should belong to the farm. Farm only. It's none of my business. It's helpful in the competition, know what you're up to, but it's none of my business. What's the bet when I finish these 2 contracts in the next 3 days? 3 streams? There'll be no contract left. There was a poll of them. Actually, we were just there. Oh, we still got contract. There's another good one. Good. Right, come on, plough, and move your backside. Pardon me. Actually, I might need to turn it over to the hired worker. So I can go off, make myself a coffee. And I might grab myself a little bit of chocolate. Chocolate. As well. Because I'm feeling quite awake, and apparently sugar these days puts me to sleep. Makes me feel tired. Yeah, doesn't it? I completely forgot I had my toffees, my Macintosh toffees. And I had about 4 left, and I ate them after dinner the other night. And boy, was I tired. And the next day I felt like crap. So I'm obviously not used to sugar, because otherwise the only time I really eat sugar is with my breakfast, when I put sugar on it. Call of Duty was really interesting too. I was so tired and hyper tired. I got really grumpy and upset, and I was sort of threw my mouse. It's not a good idea, because it's a really good mouse and it's not cheap either. I spent a long time saving up for that at 5 cents a week.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. I mean, the whole, slamming your desk on your fists. Yeah, that's real productive. Slamming your fists on your desk in frustration, I can kind of understand, especially if people get right into their games. But you get those people that start punching the keyboards or slamming the mouse and so it's like, it's not the input controller's fault.
I don't even know why I did it either. It was just, it just had a real effect on me. It was really bizarre. I just felt like a teenager playing Fortnite, which is fine. I wouldn't mind feeling like a teenager again, but not like those ones that get all upset because, they're not as good as they want to be.
I can do without being a teenager again. Early 20s. That's where it's at.
18 was the best year. 18 and 19 was the best year for me. Never had a year like it since. Thought I did, but no, turned out I didn't. Actually, I will put this on the hired worker. Let me just unload you, get rid of you, and hit the button. And I'm going to go off and make myself a coffee, and I shall be back soon. Which means, as usual, Smudo and especially Patrio will keep you entertained with their witty banter and
The Banty Witty.
the banty witty and their antidotes to cure your sadness. That type of antidote. I'll be back in a second. Or 2, or 3, or 100. I'll be back anyway. Sorry.
He is in a weird mood today.
Must be the
I am
mood phase.
not.
Yes, you are. I know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a little weird.
Yeah, last night was a little bit odd. We were expecting a big storm, but it was all stayed up over to the top of the hills, so it was a light show in the distance that I couldn't watch because there's a building in the way. Yay, cities! And it was humid as all get out, but there was no crack of rain to break the humidity, so it was pretty warm going into the night, but thankfully the clouds cleared off and it wasn't that bad this morning, till the sun woke up. Someone left it on high again.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a building in the way, you know what helps there, right? You go to Rico and say kaboom. And then Rico makes kaboom and the building is no more.
Well, what makes me laugh is there's a large data server company which, when they built their headquarters in the city here, it was good because it actually blocks the morning sun from the horizon for another short period of time, especially during winter when the sun's a bit lower. So it makes a nice sunshade. The downside is my little sliver view of the hillside, or the city's hills over in the distance, is now cut down to not even worth trying to look at it. So I have this big black monolith, and I'm thinking, what's the point of making an entire building dedicated to hosting computers and painting it black to absorb the heat?
Yeah, that does not make sense.
I mean, I know they got industrial air conditioning, and I'm pretty sure it's a spaced cladding, so it's not so bad. Yeah, it's not direct walls, but still. Especially considering one of the other sides are actually like a bright white, which would be perfect for light and heat reflection. I don't know, it's one of those things I wouldn't mind doing that as a job if I had the skills for it. Just, you know, maintaining server racks and poking around little hallways of data centers.
Three more hours left before night. Sounds gone. I just tapped over because reasons.
And that was a pointless question. Did you find my AFK animation novel?
Yeah, I did, yes, the other day when you had it on. It was neat.
Amazing what you can do with a little bit of green screen work. And then of course I'm trying to find like a photo of a field that's either A, free to use, and B, you know, sort of like nondescript but nice enough to look at. And I'm like, well, hello, I've got the farming game open.
Yeah, I'm going to look at doing something like that at one stage. Once I can afford the paint.
Yeah, you just need to consolidate your resources and improvise. Because of course that game was Animal Crossing and has nearly infinite character customization. Well, not infinite. Has plenty of options for character customizations. Along with props and bits and pieces to set up outfits.
Is he actually finished or is he driven into someone's house? He's actually finished.
I don't know, last time I tried to use a helper, they probably did half a row and then planted themselves into a lake. Must have been feeling a bit hot under the collar and needed to cool off.
Build 61. fold that up. Turn some lights on so we can see things.